All right, I think we are recording. So thank you so much for popping on to this quick video. I'm going to be doing a few teaching series in the WonderLab Academy for the Digital Brand Setup Kit, and we're going to be talking about personal branding for advisors. And you're going to want to make sure that you watch all these videos. They'll be quick, bite-sized, actionable, and you'll walk away with some really good next steps for building your own personal brand. So before we get into the meat of everything, I want to lay the foundation and explain why now is the time to focus on your personal brand as an advisor. So let's just back up a little bit. Let's look at the world of when these types of businesses, so client service businesses, especially in financial services, were built successfully on the word of mouth referral model alone. So back then, and this is the playbook from the 1960s, if you think about that world, it's quite different than it is today. Back in the 1960s, phones were attached to your house or, like physical large phones. Today, phones are in our pockets. No one really answers these phones. So the method of how to reach out is very different. I think there's a lot of privacy concerns nowadays as well. So the model of asking people for referrals, getting contact information, calling them, we're just finding that that's not the best way to do business these days. And the biggest thing that is different is how reputation is built and translated today. So back then, reputation used to be translated from a word of mouth referral. Someone could mention, I worked with this advisor, they were really good, they're going to reach out to you. And that was honestly the only way available to build business. The credibility was enough. There was less options. There was just less going on. And communities were tighter knit. So it was more natural and organic to get a referral word of mouth and trust that. And that was enough to grow someone's business and very successfully. Fast forward to today, we have everything is different. So our world has become so hyper personalized that consumers are expecting personalization. So if you think about it, the generalized, we serve individuals, families, and businesses is just an approach that falls totally flat because we are living in the world of data-driven, algorithmically curated marketing. So everything we see is curated and tailored to us. And I believe that the advisors who are going to be successful and stand out with their brand in the present and in the future are going to be the ones who take that approach of hyper specific to a niche. Now, we'll get into the niche framework in another video here, but the biggest thing that is the same, so what has not changed is that businesses are built on trust, credibility, hard work, and relationships. But the how the business is built, all of that has changed. So let's position the importance of a personal brand within that. Personal branding is not just, like what your headshot looks like, or maybe what colors you use, or what your LinkedIn headline is. Personal branding is the essence of who you are as an advisor and who you help and how you help them. And when done right, this unlocks everything for you. So I get really excited about this work for advisors because it's really hard to stand out in today's marketplace, right? There's a lot of people who maybe do what you do, offer the same services that you offer. There's a lot of clients who need what you have, and you know that, but you're going to market in a way that's very difficult and noisy. And so in order to stand out and attract rather than sell or hunt, I believe you have to get the personal brand nailed down. So what happens when you start to focus on the personal brand is you start to market totally differently, and you actually unlock for yourself marketing opportunities. Without a personal brand, you cannot market because you don't know what you're about, who your here to help, how you're here to help them. And you can't do any marketing tactics that are going to give you any true ROI on your time, energy, resource, money investment. So it just to me is so clear that the advisors who are going to invest in this work are going to be the ones that stand out and build the business with ease. And what's going to happen is the advisors who don't are going to be stuck further in the past, because the way that technology is changing everything right now is insane. And it's moving exponentially fast. The world today is so different than when I was an advisor 6 years ago. And that was not even that long ago. And so if the advisors who don't adapt to this are going to just continue to look less and less relevant. And so that's not meant to scare you, but that's meant to excite you about the possibility of how much more you can grow and how much more you can do today by utilizing technology, by defining your personal brand, and by unlocking opportunities that work in today's world. And so what I've also seen with this work is advisors who choose to build and invest in their personal brand as they gain confidence. And so not only does that allow you to set up your digital presence online to make you completely relevant and attractive to your prospects and ideal clients, but it gives you confidence when you're in meetings in person with your clients, your prospects, your centers of influence. You know exactly who you are. And that is so magnetic. And that also unlocks prospecting opportunities for you. So I could honestly go on for another 15, 20 minutes about my passion about this work, but I'm just going to keep it quick, keep it simple, and give you a foundation for how powerful this work is. Stay tuned, because in the next few videos, I'm going to walk you through all of the branding framework, and it's going to be really fun.